and welcome to the Pink Couture YouTube channel. Make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe so you can get all the notifications going forward. I'm Erin, owner of the Fox's Den, and today I'm going to show you how I got this layered paint look to get this Bohemian maximalist furniture makeover. So let's jump into it. First, I started with this older dresser that I thrifted, and it was super dirty. So I did give it a really good clean with Pink Couture's Fresh Start. And now I'm coming in with the color Firelight. This is one of Paint Couture's acrylic mineral paints. It's going to give my paint a good base to sit on top of. Plus, as we do our finish and we remove some of the paint, when I pull back the paint I'm putting on, we're going to have little pops of orange coming through. So I just wanted little touches of orange here and there. But because this paint has a built-in primer, I really like how it's going to block a lot of the yuck that I was getting when I cleaned off this piece. So I'm just going to do a nice even coat to start with. I will let that dry. I let it dry overnight. You can just let it dry for about 2 hours, but I'm coming back in with my second coat now. This was next day. I wanted to have good full coverage to prevent any issues with bleed through or anything like that I might have had with this particular piece. So I'm just using a good synthetic brush. This paint does self-level really well. And honestly, I could have seen leaving this piece this orange tone because it's absolutely gorgeous, and then just doing like a black glaze. You could actually stop there because it was absolutely beautiful. Firelight is a fabulous color, but I had big plans for this. I wanted a lot of bright tones, just a hint beachy, just a hint. But we're going to keep on going, and I'll show you guys how we did the rest. So next I am going to be coming in with the colors Tuscan Sun, Polynesian Pink, Aquamarine, and Peacock. These colors are going to finish out our Bohemian Maximalist vibe that I'm going for. So first I'm going to go all around my edges with the color Peacock. I'm not doing a full thorough paint yet. I'm just kind of adding that dark tone to the edges because I want the middles to be a lighter pop with the aquamarine. So this Peacock's going on, and I'm going into the middle with the color aquamarine. That is from Paint Couture's Chalk Style line. And I'm going to start blending in some of the Peacock to the edges, and I'll come back with a blending brush. This is actually one of the brushes from Renovare by Cristana, which you can get on the Paint Couture page. So I'm going to use some paper towel, dab it off. But that's because I want some of the orange shining through. Just a little bit. I will come back and blend a little bit more. Just kind of smooth it all out a little bit. So I'm going to come back in with the Peacock. I decided it was a little too much orange, and actually that's the Aquamarine. Just smooth it all in. Now the Aquamarine is from the Chalk Style line, and the Peacock is from the Acrylic line. These two different types of paint from Paint Couture work really, really well together. I really like blending a chalk paint, and it works so well with their acrylic mineral paint. It's honestly seamless blending. Adding a little bit more aquamarine there to the middle of the drawer just to give it that light pop that I personally like in the center of a drawer. For this blending technique, same thing, I am using all synthetic bristle brushes, and then the big blending brush from Renovare to really move all those colors in together. I'm going to complete this process on all of these drawers. Lighter color in the middle, darker color on the edge, but I still do work that aquamarine into the sides just to lighten up the Peacock a little bit so it's not quite so dark. When I'm using a blending brush, I do go up and down and side to side, and it just helps move all those paint colors in together. Finishing up on this top drawer. Add in the Aquamarine. I do use a misting bottle when I feel like my paint is drying really fast. I live in South Louisiana, so it's pretty hot here right now, and the paint dries really quickly. If you're in a cooler climate, you might not have your paint dry as fast. There's Peanut. Hello, Peanut. Your paint might dry a little slower, but so you might not need a misting bottle. But if you find your paint isn't moving together as easily as you would like, try a misting bottle. So here's what it looks like with the blend. You can see just little touches of the orange peeping through, which is exactly what I wanted. I'm going to come and do the same technique on these middle doors. Now, these doors, I absolutely love them because of all the detail. So whenever I'm doing a blend on something like this, I'll do the darker color in the background. And then on the pieces that pop forward, I'm going to do that aquamarine. And then I blend them in together with the blending brush. And then I'm going to come back again onto those raised details and add a little bit more aquamarine. You can see here, I'm coming in with one of Paint Couture's smaller brushes, and I'm getting just the lighter color right there, right onto the raised part. And I'll blend just a little bit, and it's going to keep those raised pieces lighter, which is exactly what I'm going for. For on the middle panel, I'm going to put the peacock around the edge, aquamarine in the middle, and then up and down, side to side, up and down, side to side, until I'm happy with the blend. I'm going to repeat this process on all of those panels. First, while it's still wet, I am taking a paper towel and dabbing just along the edges, along the peaks, and that's going to help that orange pop through. So you can see right there, we have our orange showing through just a tiny bit. So we did complete this process on all of the panels, up and down, side to side, not forgetting to, at the end, paper towel, remove a little bit of the paint before it dries. You could do this blend without revealing any of the orange, but the orange is what we wanted to show just a tiny bit. Now we're going to start adding our Polynesian pink and our Tuscan sun. For these, I did do about a 50-50 mix of paint and water. It really helps when you're removing the paint to have it watered down a little bit. So here's the Polynesian pink going on. I'm just brushing it on with this little brush from Paint Couture's Capital Crafts line. And once I have that paint applied, I am going to mist it a little bit. And I'm going to come back again with a paper towel. You can use a shop rag. You can use a natural sponge. You can even use a coffee filter. Whatever will get you that chippy layered paint look. I just happen to have paper towels on hand. So I'm going to dab, and it's going to leave just a little bit of the pink behind. I like it a little bit when it drips. I like it when it flows. It really creates a little bit more of a authentic look, I suppose. So I'm adding it in the corners and all along the edges. Just putting the paint on and taking it back. There's a little close-up. You can see how I'm going with the paper towel around the edges, adding that pink and spraying it down and dabbing it off. Here's how it leaves the pink. I'm actually quite happy with the way it looks. Coming in now with the watered down Tuscan sun. Again, this is a 50-50 mix of paint and water. So I'm going to brush it along the edges. I'm even going to end up brushing it all throughout the middle. And it's the exact same thing. We're going to dab it off. But that little section's not dabbing so well. So I'm going to spray it with my bottle, spray it with my misting bottle, and remove some of that paint. What's fun is it leaves just like hints and pops of the yellow and the pink. They're layered together with the blues and the orange. I did go with kind of a jewel tone theme for this. I like how all of these colors, these particular shades, work together. So there it is, taking off the yellow right in the middle of the drawer. And on these awesome raised details, I took a little bit of the yellow and dabbed it off, and now we're doing the same thing with the pink. Tuscan sun and Polynesian pink. In the middle panels, I applied yellow, the Tuscan sun, dab it off with the paper towel, and then I'm going to come back and do the same thing with the pink. Just kind of going in little spots, not all over, but then I go with my paper towel and kind of move that paint around. Those details at the bottom, layer on your Tuscan sun and your Polynesian pink. You could do this process with other colors. You could try a whole bunch of different colors to use together to make the same kind of look. It could even be more of a neutral, using blacks and browns and grays and such. Now this is Couture's Glaze in black chiffon. To tone down some of the brightness, add some depth to the details, I'm going to use a synthetic brush, and I'm going to brush this whole thing with the black chiffon glaze. Once I have it applied everywhere, I'm taking a shop rag and you just wipe it back. You want to make sure you get it down into those crevices. And that's what, see the difference between that and the panel to the left? It deepens it, it darkens it. I feel like it makes it so much richer. It gives it a ton more definition. The glaze stays down in all those little nooks and crannies. And I just think it's a wonderful, wonderful product to just really finish off a piece. We're going to do the same thing on the drawers. And for these, I am going all over the entire drawer, really working it in to all those pieces, getting deep into the grooves, coming over the drawer fronts, and then just brushing it off with a shop rag. This glaze is so easy to use. I do not have a top coat already on this paint. There is some top coat built into the Peacock and the Tuscan Sun, but this is how it looks. I love the way that these colors layer together. I love the way that they look all together, and I think it came out a lot of fun. I think that it is a great piece. Let us know if you try any of these techniques. Make sure that you like and follow along with the YouTube channel, and can't wait to see you next time. Okay, bye.